Hey guys, my name is Rajan and you're watching Lens War. So today I have got the latest S25 Ultra, which is a very anticipated phone of 2025, and I really like its new design. It's kind of curved from the edges and it looks really premium in the hand. And on the other hand, I've got the Vivo X200 Pro. So this comparison is a very exclusive comparison and I hope you guys like this comparison. And we're gonna dive into the cameras and obviously the videos, snapshot, portrait, selfies and everything in this video. So do subscribe the channel, and whoever wants to buy this Samsung S25 Ultra on a good price, you guys can go to Aggarwal Mobi Hub at Aditya Mall. I've got this phone from them and I really got a good price there. So you can check out them and I will put the link in the description so you guys can go, and if you're in Delhi NCR you can visit this store and buy this phone. Without further wasting time, let's dive into the comparison. The S25 Ultra features a new 50 megapixel ultra-wide sensor, while the X200 Pro uses an older version of it. The X200 Pro's 50 megapixel main sensor is slightly larger than the S25 Ultra's 200 megapixel sensor, which may impact light capture, but specs aren't everything. Let's see how they perform in real-world tests. Alright, here I wanted to test both the dynamic range and how each phone captures skin tones. Right off the bat, the X200 Pro takes the lead, doing an excellent job balancing the clouds, sunset and trees in the background while keeping the exposure spot on. Even in low light, the skin tones on the X200 Pro are also more flattering. Although if we zoom in, it's clear that the Vivo smoothing effect is in play, kind of like applying a filter to your face in real time. Now, I have got to give props to the S25 Ultra, though it keeps things more natural, applying less smoothing, which I respect. But when it's come to the overall image, especially the colors and the skin tone, the X200 Pro takes it to the whole new level. It's like more cinematic, more vibrant. So yeah, I'll call this win for the X200 Pro. Let's dive into more shots. Alright, here's a 1x shot and the differences pop right out. The Vivo X200 Pro seems to be in love with the contrast. It brightens my skin so much that I almost look like a doll. And what's with the bluish tint on my jacket? It's like the X200 Pro is trying to invent new fashion trends. Meanwhile, the X25 Ultra plays it cool, keeping everything natural and realistic. My skin tone actually looked like mine, thank you Ultra, but let's not give it too much credit because when it comes to the background, both phones seem to have called it draw. Let's just zoom in. The X200 Pro pulls ahead with better details and less noise. But here's the twist, the S25 Ultra wins for capturing me the way I actually look. So this round goes to the Ultra. Let's see what surprises the next shot. Alright, in this shot I wanted to test the dynamic range while also seeing how both devices handle skin tones. Right away you can notice that the X200 Pro is doing a better job with dynamic range. The clouds in the sky are much better captured here, while on the S25 Ultra the sky looks overexposed. At the same time, the S25 Ultra has gone a bit overboard with contrast, giving the image a very harsh look. On the bright side, the jacket looks better on the S25 Ultra due to more accurate colors. Meanwhile, the X200 Pro has applied a strange blue hue on the jacket, which doesn't look authentic. When it comes to the skin tones and the overall picture, the X200 Pro is clearly ahead. It delivers a more balanced and natural look, while the S25 Ultra feels like it's a bit over-processing everything for some reason. And even if we zoom in, the X200 Pro edges ahead with better details. So this round definitely goes to the X200 Pro. Let's move on to the next set of shots. Here's a shot at 2x and right away you can see that the S25 Ultra gives a more pleasing and slightly brightened skin tone, while the X200 Pro keeps it more true to life. However, when we look at the jacket's leather texture and my t-shirt, the S25 Ultra captures colors and textures more accurately. But zooming in, the X200 Pro retains more detail than the S25 Ultra. The overall color, tone and the temperature are also more accurate on the X200 Pro. If I had to pick a shot for social media, I'd go with the S25 Ultra. But in terms of authenticity and facial details, the X200 Pro takes the win. So for this one, I'll give it to the X200 Pro. Let's check out more shots. Alright, so here where things get interesting. I tested the wide angle shot on both phones and let's just say Samsung sensor better is real. The X200 Pro is rocking Samsung JN1 sensor, while the S25 Ultra flexes with the newer JN3 sensor. Both 50 megapixel, but the JN3 brings better HDR and dynamic range to the table. Now looking at the shots, the S25 Ultra does a fantastic job capturing the clouds and dynamic range. But here's the twist, it forgot about the model. While the background looks stunning, the face is left in the shadows like I'm in a mystery thriller. Meanwhile, the X200 Pro steps in like a good friend, brightening the subject, which of course is looking better here. Sure, the S25 Ultra holds onto more details, like on the stairs but the X200 Pro makes the subject pop with better exposure. At the end of the day, while the S25 Ultra wins on HDR, the X200 Pro wins on making the model look good, and I think that's what matters. So for this shot, I'll give +1 to both of these phones. Let's check out one more wide angle shot before we come to a conclusion. Alright, so I decided to test the wide angle capabilities at night, and here's the tea. The X200 Pro is flexing its brightening powers like a champ. This shot is usable straight out of the camera, which is more than I can say for the S25 Ultra. While the S25 Ultra is busy trying to maintain its dynamic range, it's also sucking the soul out of the image, leaving us with something that looks like it's just gave up the halfway. Let's talk about noise. The S25 Ultra feels like it had a bad night. The shot is noisier than a crowded subway station, and it shows, especially on the jacket. Meanwhile, the X200 Pro is keeping things better exposed, making the jacket look crisp and the overall image much more well alive. Honestly, for night wide angle shots, the X200 Pro is the clear winner. It may not have the fanciest HDR, but at least it doesn't look like it was taken on a potato. The S25 Ultra, let's just say it's struggling to find its groove here. So point to the X200 Pro for nailing the wide angle shot. Let's check out one more wide angle shot before wrapping things up. Alright, so I tested the wide angle once again, and here's something crystal clear. The S25 Ultra is wider than the X200 Pro, and it shows. The S25 Ultra feels like it's shooting at around 12 or 13 mm, while the X200 Pro comes in a bit tighter at 15 mm. Wider means better, right? Well, not always. Let's dive in. In terms of HDR, the S25 Ultra steals the spotlight, making those clouds pop and trees come alive with rich detail. But here's the plot twist: the X200 Pro is actually more considerate toward the subject. The model looks brighter and more exposed, while the S25 Ultra, in its obsession with the dynamic range, seems to left me the model in the shadows. Maybe it's just shy, I guess. Zooming in, the details on both are pretty close, though I'd give a slight edge to the S25 Ultra for more accurate skin tones. But here's the kicker: the S25 Ultra focuses on the clouds and background so much that it forgets to throw some light on the model. Could this be fixed in the future updates? Finger crossed, but right now the X200 Pro is giving us a brighter shot overall, which might appeal to casual shooters, I guess. However, as a photographer, I will always side with better dynamic range because I can bump in the brightness in post-processing, but I can fix poor HDR, right? Also, let's not forget the S25 Ultra wins on wider angle capability, which gives it that immersive cinematic feel. So for me, this round goes to the S25 Ultra. Better HDR and a wider perspective, and a superior sensor seal the deal. So let's check out more shots to dive deeper. Alright, for this 23mm or 1x portrait shot, the X200 Pro, I think in my opinion, applies a whitening effect on my face, which isn't ideal in terms of skin tones. I'd prefer the natural look from the S25 Ultra. However, the X200 Pro does a better job with edge detection, especially around my jacket. When it comes to the overall colors, the S25 Ultra nails it with more realistic tones, particularly on the jacket, which looks far better on the S25 Ultra, I would say. If you zoom in, both phones are similarly in terms of detail, but the S25 Ultra feels more natural and true to life. So I'd give this win to the S25 Ultra. So let's check out more portraits. Alright, here's a 35mm portrait shot, and right away you can tell that the X200 Pro is giving a much more cinematic vibe. It adds a nice contrast to the model, which looks great. Although the S25 Ultra does capture better skin tones, but when we zoom in, the X200 Pro shines with better noise reduction on the face, and the hair also looks much more cleaner. The edge detection is also superior on the X200 Pro, especially around the hair. You can see here where the S25 Ultra falls short, I would say. Even the background bokeh looks better on the X200 Pro. So for me, at 35mm, the X200 Pro is the clear winner. Let's check out more shots. Alright, here's another portrait at 50mm, and the S25 Ultra is again proving its expertise with skin tones. The jacket's blacks looks deeper and more natural, while the skin tones are flawless and true to life. Meanwhile, the X200 Pro seems to have a little obsession with its AI, smoothing out the textures and adding an old reddish tint on the face. It's like trying too hard to impress, but credits where it's due. The X200 Pro nails the bokeh and has slightly better edge detection, especially in the hair. Still, the overprocessed skin ruins the vibe, making it feel more digital than natural. For me, the S25 Ultra wins again by keeping the details and colors real. Let's dive into the next shot. Alright, so here's a shot taken at 85mm and immediately the X200 Pro starts doing its thing, brightening up the skin a bit while the S25 Ultra keeps it more realistic and true to life. Now let's talk about the jacket. Once again the X200 Pro decided to throw in a slight green tint, which honestly wasn't invited to the party. Meanwhile the S25 Ultra stays true to the reality, keeping the colors just as they were. Now look at the hair. The S25 Ultra does a better job maintaining natural tones, but where the X200 Pro really flexes is in sharpness. The details are noticeably better and its edges detection is top tier. Like also that background bokeh, pure cinematic goodness. Like those bokeh balls make the shot look like it was taken on a DSLR. So at the end of the day, this one comes down to personal preference. The X200 Pro gives you that ultra sharp contrasty cinematic vibe, while the S25 Ultra stays true to life with its realistic skin tone. So honestly, I'm calling this one a tie. So I'm gonna give +1 to both of these phones. Let's check out more shots before making a final call. Alright, here's a shot I took at 135mm on the X200 Pro, and right away you can see that it's applying a little smoothing effect on the face while the S25 Ultra keeps the skin tones much more natural. Personally, I prefer the skins more realistic of the S25 Ultra, but where the X200 Pro shine is its edge detection. It's on another level. Like the shot from the X200 Pro looks like a DSLR quality with superior edge detection and bokeh. Even the details are sharper on the X200 Pro this time, and the AI isn't overdone, I would say, making the image look more cinematic. So while the S25 Ultra wins on skin tones, I lean towards the X200 Pro for that DSLR like vibe. I will give this one to the X200 Pro. Let's check out more shots. Alright, here comes a tricky selfie, and I call it that because it tests the dynamic range to its limits. While the S25 Ultra usually shines in the department, the X200 Pro really steals the show here. The dynamic range is on point. The sky, the sunset, and those golden yellow hues look stunning on the X200 Pro. Meanwhile, the S25 Ultra introduces a reddish tint to my hair, which is a bit off-putting on the like it's not looking good. On the plus side, the jacket details on the S25 Ultra like it's looking sharper, but the X200 Pro does a better job with skin tones and noise reduction on my face. So for this shot, I would give it the win to the X200 Pro for its balanced dynamic range and overall cleaner result. Let's explore more selfies. Alright, here's another selfie, and at first glance both phones look great, but when we zoom in, the X200 Pro surprisingly holds more detail, especially on the eyebrows and the face. The S25 Ultra on the other hand has a bit of noise when it comes to the skin tones, though the S25 Ultra nails it with more natural tones. And the lipstick and makeup looks far better too. The overall color and the mood of the S25 Ultra are much more appealing to me. So while the X200 Pro does have its strengths in terms of colors and overall vibe, I'd pick the S25 Ultra for this one. Let me know what you think. Let's check out more shots now. Alright, so we are diving into the 10x zoom shot, and at first glance the X200 Pro seems like it's pulling ahead with sharper details, but wait, don't let that first impression fool you. When you zoom in, you can't miss the watercolor effect that its over enthusiastic AI has plastered all over the face. It's like the X200 Pro decided to turn this photo into an oil painting without asking any permission. Like take a closer look at the eyebrows. They are so smoothed out, they look like they have been through a spa session. The over processing here is frankly a mood killer. On the other side, the S25 Ultra might have a bit more noise, but it's keeping things real at least. The skin tones are natural, true to life, and way more appealing. Sure, the X200 Pro deserves credit for its noise reduction, but at what cost? Like the skin tones are completely off and the AI is just overdoing everything. Meanwhile, the S25 Ultra delivers a shot that's imperfect but authentic, preserving the natural mood of the image. For me as a photographer, this is a no-brainer. The S25 Ultra wins this round, of course, because overprocessed AI is something I can't fix later, but a bit of noise, that's an easy tweak in post. So while the X20 Pro gave it a good shot, the win belongs to the S25 Ultra for its realistic skin tones and overall balance. Let's check out more shots now. Alright, here's a shot I took at 30x zoom on both devices, and the differences are pretty clear. The Vivo X200 Pro seems to be working overtime with its AI. It's aggressively smoothing out the image, which ends up losing lot of texture and detail in the structure. On the other hand, the S25 Ultra keeps everything much more true to life and realistic. Sure, it's a bit noisy, but it retains the sharpness and texture that makes the shot feel authentic. Unlike the Vivo, the S25 Ultra doesn't overdo it with noise reduction or smoothing, which really makes it stand out here. If we zoom in, it's obvious that the S25 Ultra delivers a better picture overall, capturing those real life details that the Vivo misses. So this round definitely goes to the S25 Ultra. Let's move on to the next set of pictures. Alright, here's a zoom shot, and right away you can tell that the X200 Pro is doing a better job with the highlight exposure on this text. This text is clearly in the high, and the highlights are controlled well without overexposing, unlike the S25 Ultra. Even with a bit of AI processing, the tree looks better on the X200 Pro. If we zoom in, I'd prefer the X200 Pro shot overall. However, the S25 Ultra has the advantage of not over processing, so some text are sharper on it. In the end, it's a 50-50 split, I would say, but thanks to that better exposure on the X200 Pro, I will give this win to the X200 Pro for this better exposure control on this text. Let's check out more shots. Alright, so here's a low light test shot at 1x with the model standing right under a street light. It's nearly night and you can immediately see the Vivo X200 Pro taking the lead. The X200 Pro retains the skin tones beautifully, while the S25 Ultra decides to turn up the brightness and make the skin look unnaturally white, like it's auditioning for a vampire movie. Now let's talk about the background. The X200 Pros capture a more realistic and pleasing shot, while the S25 Ultra throws in a purple hue to the clouds, because why not, right? Like, spoiler, it doesn't look true to life. Zooming in, the X200 Pro clearly wins again with sharper details and better clarity, even capturing the ground more effectively, I would say. So the X200 Pro wins again with sharper details and better clarity. Even for this shot, it's a no-brainer. The X200 Pro steals the spotlight. Let's move on to the next comparison. Alright, here's a night shot, and I wanted to test the details and how both phones handle highlights. Right away you can see that the X200 Pro is pulling ahead with a much better shot. Its Zeiss coating is really helping it stand out compared to the S25 Ultra. Even looking at the ground, the X200 Pro has better exposure and everything looks more detailed. The trees are also better rendered on the X200 Pro with more accurate highlights. When you check out the sky, the X200 Pro's clouds and color are much more realistic, while the S25 Ultra seems to apply a strange hue to the image. Overall, I am leaning towards the X200 Pro for this shot. Let's check out more shots. Alright, here's a night shot captured at 50mm, and right away you can see that the X25 Ultra is struggling to focus on the model, resulting in a very weird, overly smoothened out face. On the other hand, the X200 Pro shows off its superior processing, delivering a much better result. It's clear that the X200 Pro nails night portraits with better skin tones, clarity, and the DSLR-like quality. The S25 Ultra's night portrait performance is underwhelming, just like the X24 Ultra. So there's no question here, the X200 Pro wins this one, hands down. Let's move on and check out more shots. Alright, at 85mm portrait at night, the difference is clear. The X200 Pro outperformed the S25 Ultra by a long shot. The S25 Ultra's shot is almost unusable, while the X200 Pro delivers a much better result. Although it still faces some challenges, the leather jacket and the hair details are far superior on the X200 Pro. The S25 Ultra struggles with night portraits, but the X200 Pro handles it with better background bokeh and overall clarity. So this one goes to the X200 Pro. Let's move on to more shots. Alright, here's the Vivo X200 Pro flexes its muscles in low light portrait.
Hey guys, my name is Rajan and you're watching Lens Force. So today I have got the X200 Pro and the latest S25 Ultra, and both have great cameras, and they are...
The X200 Pro is working its magic here, easily outperforming the S25 Ultra by miles. That said, I'll give credit where it's due. The S25 Ultra keeps the colors more natural, especially on my jacket. But honestly, for this shot, the Ultra feels almost unusable. Vivo takes the crown with sharper details and that dreamy bokeh. It's a landslide victory for the X200 Pro in this round. Let's dive into more shots.
Hey guys, my name is Rajan and
how
you're
the
watching
story
Lens Force. So
unfolds.
today I have got the X200 Pro and the latest S25 Ultra, and both have great cameras, and they are the video quality here and the audio quality, and you can see this exclusive review on my channel. So you can check the dynamic range here and the audio quality. Do check out more videos on my channel. For selfie cameras, the S25 Ultra delivers better skin tones, while the X200 Pro nails dynamic range and vibrant colors. At night, the S25 Ultra exposes subject better, but the X200 Pro holds up well. In daylight, it comes down to personal preference. The S25 Ultra for natural colors, X200 Pro for vibrancy. In videography, the S25 Ultra offers better room for editing with its neutral colors. Both can shoot at 8K 60 FPS, but the S25 Ultra is flexible for post-processing. The X200 Pro also shows better preview before capturing photos. And now it's time for the final conclusion, and the winner is X200 Pro for having 15 score, while the S25 Ultra scored 9. So overall the X200 Pro has better cameras, I think. The battery wise, the X200 Pro also lasts 20 minutes longer. I love how the X200 Pro captures portrait, but the S25 Ultra nails skin tones more often. Stay tuned for iPhone 16 Pro Max, S24 Ultra and the OnePlus 13 comparison with the S25 Ultra. Have a great day.